Hello all, in today's session we will talk about the directivity. Now in 1973, according to the IEEE definition, your directivity and your directive gain were having the same meanings. But in 1983, your directivity and the gain were separated by the separate definition. So we can see here the D is denoted, D is used to denote the directivity and G is used to denote the antenna gain. Now there are different definitions for the directivity, so we'll talk about the three definitions about the directivity. So the definition one is nothing but this is defined as the ratio of the radiation intensity in a given direction from the antenna to the radiation intensity average over all the directions from that same antenna. So directivity is equal to U in the given direction divided by average, you can say, the radiation intensity. So as this is the ratio U by U average, you can say this is nothing but the dimensionless quantity. Now let us talk about the second definition. So your definition second about the directivity says that the directivity of an antenna, so I can say the directivity of an antenna. Now here we are assuming that antenna is a non-isotropic antenna, so you can say this is defined as the ratio of its radiation intensity. As we know that we denote our radiation intensity with U in a given direction over that of an isotropic source. So again this you can say this is nothing but the ratio. So mathematically this D is equal to U by U0. So again you can say that this is nothing but the dimensionless. Now as we have already gone through the U0 is nothing but the radiation intensity of your isotropic antenna, which is nothing but the P radiated divided by 4 pi watts per steradian. So if we put all these things in this particular equation, I can say my directivity will be 4 pi U divided by P radiated. So this is all about the directivity second definition. And now let us talk about the third definition about the directivity. Now about two definitions are used when a directivity in a particular direction is required, that you need to find out the directivity in a particular direction. But if the direction is not specified, we need to calculate we need to calculate the directivity in the direction. So here, but if the direction is not specified, then we calculate the directivity in the direction of maxima. So this gives rise to the third definition of the directivity. So here the directivity of an antenna is defined as the ratio of radiation intensity. So this will be the ratio of radiation intensity in the maximum direction. As the direction is not given, we are assuming our maximum direction to the radiation intensity of an isotropic source. So isotropic source. So here mathematically if I am going to define this particular, so D max is equal to, you can say, D0, which is nothing but the U max divided by U0. Now U0 we know that this is nothing but the radiation intensity of an isotropic antenna. So this will be 4 pi U max divided by P radiated. So this is the third definition. So in all the mathematical expressions, notations, whatever notations we have used will have the following meaning. So here you can say D is nothing but the directivity. Now as we know that this directivity is a ratio, it will not have any unit. D0, you can say the maximum directivity over here. So here D0 you are defining as a maximum directivity. U is the radiation intensity, and the unit of radiation intensity is nothing but the watts per steradian. Then you can say U max, you can say this is the maximum radiation intensity, and the unit will be again watts per steradian. If I talk about the U0, it will be the radiation intensity of an isotropic source. So this will be the radiation intensity of isotropic source. Again, as this is the radiation intensity, unit will be same, that is watts per steradian, and P radiated is nothing but the power radiated, or you can say the radiated power, and we know that the unit of the radiated power will be watts. Now remember that the P radiated in above expression is obtained using the radiation intensity itself. Now we have seen the definition of the radiated power. So P radiated, you can calculate the integration over the surface area UD ohm. So here you know that your solid, this particular angle can be sine of theta, d theta and d phi. So this is nothing but the radiation intensity in terms of it is nothing but the radiated power in terms of the radiation intensity. Now let us talk about the directivity from the beam area. As we have already talked about the beam area, now let us talk about the directivity in terms of the beam area. So if I am talking about the directivity from beam area, now we know how to denote the beam area. Beam area is ohm A. So directivity from beam area. Now we'll express D in terms of the beam area. For this purpose we have to assume some expression for U. So let us radiation intensity is the function of theta and phi. So here we have to assume something over. So this will be K0 F theta and phi. Okay? So where we can say the K0 is nothing but the constant. So according to this particular equation, we can say that I can define my D0 is equal to 4 pi U max divided by P radiated, as we have already gone through the definition. Now here we require to calculate U max and the P radiate. Now how to find out? So we'll go step by step. The first thing which we'll do is nothing but we'll find out the U max. So how I can find out the U max? So first thing which I'll do here to find U max. So in the expression of U, since K0 is a constant and U is the maximum, when F theta 5 is the maximum, you can write U max is equal to K0 F theta 5 at, you can say, max, which is equal to K0 F max theta 5. So let us denote this equation as equation number 1 and this equation as equation number 2. Now we have find out the U max. Now let us find out the P radiated. The second step to find the radiated power. So how we can find the P radiated? So write down the equation, or we'll see whatever we have seen previously, how we can calculate the radiated power. So P radiated is equal to integration U sine theta d theta d5. Now here the surface integration tells us that 5 varies from 0 to 2 pi and your theta varies from 0 to pi. So this will be K0 F theta 5 sine theta d theta and d5. So if I solve it further, I can say that K0, here I have put it the value of that particular U, that is radiation intensity. So this becomes 0 to 2 pi. This will be 0 to pi. So F theta 5, you can say sine theta d theta and d5. So further solving, now equation, you can say I'll denote this equation, I can say with the equation number 3. So this number is equation number 3. So using the equations 2 and 3, I can write the D0 like this. So if I'm using the equation 2 and 3, further I'll solve this equation like this. So I can write my D0 is equal to 4 pi K0, I can say this is the F max theta 5. So here I'm using the two equations to get the third equation. So this will be K0 0 to 2 pi, this will be 0 to pi. So F theta 5 sine of theta d theta and d5. So further solving, this will be the 4 pi F max, which is nothing but the function of theta and 5. I can write again 0 to 2 pi 0 to pi F theta 5 sine of theta, you can say d theta and d5. So here we know that we have cancelled out the K0. Now further solving this equation, you can write here 4 pi divided by, I'll solve it further to get the integration over here. 0 to 2 pi, I can say 0 to pi f of theta 5 sine theta d theta d5 divided by f max theta and 5. So I have taken this term down, and then again further solving. Now noting that f theta phi divided by f max, now we are having a f theta phi divided by f max theta phi is nothing but the u by u max, and which is nothing but the normalized power, which we have already seen. So here we can note that f theta 5 divided by f max, you can say theta 5, which is equal to u by u max, and the value is same as the normalized power. So you can say normalized power. So here the definition of normalized power we have already gone through. So let us put all these things over there in my equation. So when I am talking about this particular directivity, I can say again for the solving, d0 will become now 4 pi divided by, I can say 0 to 2 pi, and you can say 0 to pi. This is the normalized power theta and 5 sine theta d theta d5. So this is all about when you are going. Now the denominator of this expression is nothing but the beam area. Now here you can say this is denominator is nothing but the beam area, this complete term which we have already gone through, that is normalized power into sine theta d theta d5. So when you are replacing that things, your d0 will become here 4 pi divided by beam area, which is nothing but the Ohm A. So I have got the directivity 4 pi divided by beam area. So this is our directivity in terms of the, you can say, in terms of the beam area. Now what are the approximate expressions for the D? So if we talk about the approximate expression for D, we'll talk it separately right now. So approximate expression for D. So here I'll write the approximate expressions for the D. Now we know that whatever we have seen till now, expression gives the exact value of D. But if we know half power beam widths into principal planes, now we know what are the two principals, that is theta HP and phi HP, then the approximate value of beam area can be obtained. So here beam area will be calculated like, now approximate value we are talking about approach, so this will be theta HP and which will be phi HP, and which will be in the steradian. We are talking about the approximate expression. We have seen till now exact values of the D, but here we are talking about the approximate values. So now which gives here, as you know that we have seen the beam area, so this D0 can be calculated 4 pi theta HP, and you can say the phi HP, because we know that this is nothing but the beam area. Now note that the theta HP and phi HP are expressed in the radians. So if we have two bandwidths, two beam widths in the degrees, then we should convert 4 pi in the numerator into the degrees. So here 4 pi steradian is equal to 41253 degree square. ठीक है. So here we need to convert it into the steradian. So यहाँ पे आपको D0 will be 41253 degree square theta degree HP, and you can say the 5 degree HP. So here we have converted our things into the steradians. ठीक है. Many times it is desirable to express the D in the decibels. So instead of dimensionless quantity, it is given by. So if you are talking about the directivity in the dBs, it will be calculated 10 log to the base 10, and you can say the D, which is nothing but the dimensionless. So sometime you will find D expressed in the dBi, which means that D is calculated by comparing to the isotropic antenna. So this will be the D in the dBs now, and now if you are calculating it into the dBi, so their comparison will be with the isotropic source. Now let us talk about one of the problem based on this particular radiation intensity. Okay, so the radiation intensity, now here we'll solve one of the problem based on the radiation intensity, and then we'll talk about the properties of the radiation. So your example the radiation intensity. So the radiation intensity of an, you can say, unidirectional antenna is u is equal to um cos of theta, where your theta lies between 0 to pi by 2, and you can say your phi lies between, this is the phi lies between 0 to 2 pi. Now the first thing you need to find out is nothing but the exact directivity, and the second thing which is asked is nothing but the approximate directivity. As we have already gone through all the things, we'll find out both the things. First is the exact directivity and other one is nothing but the approximate directivity. Now let us solve this particular equation. What is given first? We'll talk about what is given first, and then we'll talk about what has to be calculated. So let us see the solution of this particular problem. So what is given in this particular thing? So u is given um cos of theta. So this thing is given. Now first thing which we will find is nothing but the exact directivity. So to find out the exact directivity, how we find out the exact directivity? That we assume that your we can say the maximum intensity u max is nothing but the um. So this is maximum, you can say, intensity. So the power radiated will be obtained in the equation. So if I am interested in the directivity, I need to find out the power. So this will be 0 to pi by 2 and u d ohm. Okay, so further solving this, 0 to 2 pi and 0 to pi by 2, um cos of theta sin theta d theta and d phi. We have put it over here the values of the d ohm. So here further solving, this will be the um 0 to 2 pi, then you can say 0 to pi by 2, 1 half sine of 2 theta d theta. Okay, so this will become pi um. Now you can write down the here the derivation, sorry, integration. So this will become minus cos of 2 theta divided by 2 from the range 0 to pi by 2. So if you solve these things, you will get the radiated power pi um. So this is the exact direct. Now the exact directivity, I have got the radiated power here. P radiated is equal to pi and um. So if I got this particular P radiated, how can I find out the directivity? That's why D is equal to, I can say, 4 pi u max divided by P radiated. So 4 pi into u max, I can say um, radiated power is pi um, and I can say this pi will get cancelled, so 4. So here whatever I have got is nothing but the d0, or value of the directivity, is nothing but the 4, and this is nothing but the exact directivity. Okay, so this is the solution for the exact directivity. Now to find out the approximate directivity, now approximate directivity value is obtained using the half power beamwidths. Okay, so to solve this one, I need to find out the you can say the half power beamwidth. So let us solve the second thing, that is nothing but the approximate directivity. So I can say approximate directivity. So how I can go for this approximate directivity? We know that our approximate directivity is nothing but the depends on the half power beamwidth. So first find out the half power beamwidth. So the plot of the radiation intensity, here we know that whatever is given is nothing but the cos of theta. So cos of 0 is equal to 1 and cos of cos of 0 is equal to 1 and cos of 90 is equal to 0. Okay, so if you plot that particular, you can say, the radiation pattern by putting the different values of the theta, you will get the radiation pattern like this. So आपको ऐसे radiation pattern, so this will be the um, let us say this is the z coordinator, this is the y, and this will be the x coordinator. So here when you, this is nothing but the theta, and you can say you are coming down. If you are talking in terms of the power, you need to come down like half of the power, so 0.5 and 0.5 of the u max. So from here to here and from here to here, whatever it will be is nothing but the and now I talking about the UM is radiation intensity maximum. So this can be called as the theta HP over there. Now we are interested in calculating this theta HP, how this theta HP can be calculated. So U theta HP by 2 is equal to UM cos of theta HP by 2. ठीक है, so you can say this is 0.5 UM. ठीक है, so or you can say that your cos of HP by theta HP by 2 is equal to 0.5. So how to calculate, or ठीक है, और how you can calculate the theta HP. So theta HP is equal to 2 cos inverse of 0.5, which comes 120 degree, which is nothing but the same as the 5 HP. So here we have calculated the half power beamwidths for the both things. Now note the difference. Now the approximate directivity, let us talk about the approximate directivity, as we have find out the, you can say, half power beamwidth. So approximate directivity can be calculated by using this formula, which you have already gone through. So D0 is 1241253 divided by theta HP, and you can say 5 HP. So this is nothing but the 41253 divided by 120 degree into 120 degree, and which comes right now is nothing but the 2.865. So I can say my approximate directivity will be 2.865. ठीक है, so if we will compare this approximate directivity, we have get 2.8, that is nothing but near about 3, and whatever we have calculated previously was the 4. So note the difference in exact and approximate values. Better approximation can be taken if the pattern have much narrower bandwidth. ठीक है, so this is all about the problem based on the directivity. Now let us talk about the properties of the directivity. ठीक है, so so we'll talk right now about the properties of the directivity. So we'll discuss about the properties of the directivity right now. So the first directivity, the directivity of an isotropic source is a unity. Okay, so the directivity of an isotropic source is nothing but the unity. So the first property, you can say, the directivity of an isotropic source is unity. Now let us see the explanation of this particular property, that we know that for an isotropic source U is equal to U0, and directivity is nothing but the U by U0. So if we put U0 by U0 is equal to 1. So I can say D is equal to 1 for isotropic source. So this is the first property of directivity. Now when my source is a not isotropic source, how I can find out the directivity? So the second property says that for other sources the maximum directivity will always be greater than 1. So you can say for other sources the D max, that is maximum directivity, will always be greater than 1. So here I can say for other sources your maximum directivity will be also, why? Because your U max will always be greater than U0 in this case. So your D is equal to 1 for non-isotropic source. So for isotropic source directivity will be 1, for non-isotropic source your directivity will be more than 1. Now the third, you can say, property, the expression of D we have seen, that is 4 pi by this beam area. So it is clear that the smaller beam area, if you are having a smaller beam area, you can find out that for the smaller beam area you are having a larger directivity, because both are inversely proportional to each other. Now let us talk about the fourth property, which is nothing but the beam area will be given by, now we know that beam area is nothing but the multiplication of your half power beam widths in one plane and in the other plane. So if the beam area I can say this is the fourth property. So if I talk about the fourth property, I can say the beam area approximately, now here I am talking about the beam area approximately. So Ohm A is nothing but the theta HP into 5 HP. Okay, so thus the D is large when the half power beam width is small. Okay, you can say D is large when this is otherwise small, and for having this small you must have a half, you can say half power beam width is small. So this is the fourth property. So if you are having a small beam width, half power beam width, you will have a large directivity. And the fifth property, that is the last property, the directivity provides a relative figure of merit. It provides a, you can say, figure of merit, but this figure of merit is nothing but the relative figure of merit, which indicates that the directional properties of an antenna compared with the isotropic antenna. So for example, figure of merit, and which is nothing but a relative, the meaning is that nothing but the, if the directivity is equal to 2, okay, if the directivity is 2, it means it is 2 times more intense than that of isotropic radiator with the same radiated power, with the same radiated power. This is the meaning of relative figure of merit, and it is relative with the isotropic radiator. So this is all about the directivity. We'll stop here and we'll solve some of the more problems based on other parameters in the next session. Thank you.